We have seen a rise in political violence that stems from the left, dating back to the Black Lives Matter movement, which the left and the Democrats don't want to talk about much, but they burned down American cities. Look at the rise of violence against the president himself and his supporters. You had two heinous assassination attempts from leftist lunatics, and the president is lucky and blessed to be here today because he was able to survive that political violence and those assassination attempts. Look at the recent attacks on Tesla, on Elon Musk's company. It's quite ironic because Democrats and leftists were the greatest fans of Tesla. Many Democrats drive Teslas to this very day, but then it's that their same party who is doing nothing to stop or condemn or discourage this violence from taking place. And in many cases, Democrat elected officials are actually inciting it and encouraging it. That's not going to be allowed to happen anymore. The Attorney General was just in the cabinet room with the president and made it very clear to anyone who is inciting violence or participating in violence, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And no longer do we have a Justice Department that chooses prosecutions based on one's political affiliation. If you break the law, you will be held accountable for that. And I think we are truly restoring a fair and equal justice system in this country.
Let's look at the Democrats. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Senator Cory Booker hosted a sit-in on the Capitol steps in protest against the GOP budget. They claim that the budget proposal is reckless and immoral. They were there for nearly 12 hours and they said that this was a significant moral moment in America. Let's just take a look.
We got some power here. Now, we said we were anchoring ourselves in the moral traditions. When we came out here over 10 hours ago, Hakeem and I said this is a bigger moment than politics. This is a moral moment in America, and we were going to sit here for a long time. I didn't know we'd be sitting for 10 hours, but it's 10 hours and we're still going, and we got some great people here.
James, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Was it really the moral moment they claimed that it was?
I just find these calls to morality and moral equivalency just absolutely bizarre. And I really just cannot make heads or tails of what they are trying to achieve here. It's this kind of gesture politics that was so symptomatic of the 2016 era. And we're just reliving that moment again and again and again. And it is so frustrating to watch. But for me, the most frustrating thing is you've got a lawmaker here sitting on the steps doing what any kind of member of public could do when actually you could go into Congress and actually try and challenge and shape the law rather than just sitting on the steps complaining about it. So the whole thing just seems bizarre, it's performative, and it's just symptomatic of a bygone era that I don't think anyone wishes to return to.
So performative. I mean, 12 hours sitting on the steps, surely there's better things that they could be doing with that amount of time. Now, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker delivered a fiery speech in New Hampshire, slamming the, quote, do-nothing Democrats. And he really didn't hold back, blasting the Democrats for flocking to podcasts, which, you know, appears to be a bit of a swipe at Gavin Newsom. And he also accuses the Democrats of not really accepting the blame for their own lack of guts. Take a listen to this.
Fellow Democrats, for far too long we've been guilty of listening to a bunch of do-nothing political types who would tell you that America's house is not on fire, even as the flames are licking their faces. And now that this culture of timidity is on full display, those same do-nothing Democrats want to blame our losses on our defense of black people, of trans kids, of immigrants, instead of their own lack of guts and gumption.
And his comments have fueled speculation about a possible 2028 presidential run. What's your thoughts?
Oh, there's no question that he's running, and this is a pretty clear pitch towards that. And I think what these comments make clear, as his previous comments have as well, is that he's really angling for capturing that progressive lane. One thing Pritzker has to be careful about is that there is a lot more energy being generated in that progressive lane from the likes of Bernie Sanders and AOC. So he's actually got a lot of work to do in that department. It's pretty clear, as you say, he is coming after the likes of Gavin Newsom and also Pete Buttigieg, who recently went on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz. But this strategy is a failed strategy. I just do not know what the logic of this move is. We've quite clearly seen that in 2016 and even 2020 with the election of Joe Biden, the American public does not want a progressive leading either the Democrats or the country, and it's a failed initiative. So I do not understand why he's attacking so hard the left here. He clearly thinks that'll be such a heavy reaction to the Trump presidency that for some reason Americans will swing all the way back across. But I think what we've seen with the 2020s is that Americans absolutely do not want to return to that time. And Pritzker is launching a failed abortive campaign before it even begins.